Happy Friday and welcome to the Owatonna Today Show. I'm Shelley Whitehead. We'd love to take a time to thank our supporters. These are the businesses who've stepped up and said, hey, we like what you're doing and we'd like to be a part of it. So we want to thank them now. We'd like to thank our premier supporters, which include the City of Owatonna, Express Employment Professionals, Owatonna Public Utilities, Safe and Drug-Free Coalition of Steele County, and the United Way of Steele County. Thank you to them. Also to our primary supporters, which include Amy Swain Hearing Centers, Coda Living Community and Park Place Senior Living, and Little Theater of Owatonna. Thank you to them. And then, of course, we could not do this without our interlude supporters. They do include Abraham Consulting Technologies, A+ Sew and Vac, Brenda Bednar Mortgage, Glenn Meager and Tim Thomas of Brick Meager Funeral Home and Medford Funeral Home, Brookdale Senior Living, Sterling House and Clarebridge of Owatonna, Carlson Brandstad and Company CPAs, ERA Gillespie Real Estate, Fairview Animal Medical Center, Horizon Eye Care Professionals, Clancher and Son Landscaping and Concrete, Napa Auto Service, Owatonna Business Incubators, Pizza Ranch of Owatonna, Profinium Financial, RNK Electric, Snap Fitness, Steele County Historical Society, the Third Hand Incorporated Video Productions, and TPS Insurance. Thank you to each and every one of those businesses. And if you like what you see here right on the Owatonna Today Show, make sure you thank them as well by giving them your business. And you can also let them know you saw them right here on the Owatonna Today Show. If you are a business and would like to be a part of this great adventure we're taking, you can always call Leanne Alt at 390-5751. Let her know that you're interested in becoming a part of our team. Or if you're a private individual and still would like to thank us through your donations, you can do that as well. You can send a check to Owatonna Today at 1130 North Elm Avenue in Owatonna 55060. Please stay with us as we are going to be speaking with Vicki Jensen. I called her Nikki, you're welcome. Vicki Jensen, I hate it when I do that. And Mike Johnson, they're not related because they're different names, but we're going to be speaking with both of them, so stay with us right here on the Owatonna Today Show.
Hi, I'm Jody Voisin with the staff at Fairview Animal Medical Center, your other family doctor. Fairview Animal Medical Center is a proud supporter of the Owatonna Today Show.
Juvenile fire setters is a big problem in the city of Owatonna. If you have any problems with juveniles or young adults setting fires within your homes or your community, please get in contact with the Owatonna Fire Department and we can help assist you with rectifying the problems with the juvenile fire setter. This is a public service information from the Owatonna Fire Department.
Hi, we're Mark and Becky Stevens of the Owatonna Pizza Ranch.
And we support the Owatonna Today Show.
And we're back with Senator Vicki Jensen. Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm great. It's good to see you.
You've been busy, girl.
I have been busy.
So this is your first year that you've been in the Senate.
Correct.
And how's it been going so far for you?
It's been going really well.
Yeah.
It's midterm, so halfway through the first year. Whew. And I will say I'm not as good at self-promotion, but Politics in Minnesota came out with an article that said that I was one of 3 shining stars in the freshman class in the majority party.
That made you blush a little?
You know, it did, and you don't realize if people are watching or if they understand what it is that you're doing. And some of the things that they indicated was that I had great confidence and working across the aisle and even at some points going against my political caucus.
Because you're doing what you feel is right for the community.
Because I feel I'm doing what's right for the community. And I'm looking at each piece of legislation because I know we're not passing ideas, and that's kind of more of a political campaign mode that you get into. When you get into actually legislating and governing, I'm making sure that the legislation that I'm reading, that those words are actually doing what it's intended to do, and trying to understand what that impact is to the people that have to live by that and base my votes. But not only your votes, when you work on a committee, there's a lot of things that you can do to make the bill better, to make amendments, and to work with interest groups to make sure that that they're all understanding and okay with what's going on. So there's a lot of work.
Sounds like a lot of communicating.
A lot of communicating, a lot of relationship building with your coworkers, with your peers, with different groups, and with people in constituents. It's a lot about making those relationships.
It also sounds like a respectful communication as well, not just this is what I think. Very respectful and give and take.
It is, and if you want to be able to get something to move forward, you have to approach each issue that everybody involved is doing what they think is the best thing to do. And to be able to come at it from that angle and talk about it in that way, I think you get better results and better legislation.
Well, you are on how many committees?
I have 3 committees.
3 committees. And so what's been interesting is that, we hear in the news budget,
Right.
but actually that process can't be done soon. That's why we've been hearing about it for so long, because there's actual steps that have to be taken before you get there.
That's correct. The interesting thing that I found about the budgeting process is in the beginning, we have to wait for the budget forecast to come out. Once you have those numbers, you wait for...
What's the forecast being?
The forecast is from the Department of Revenue, Minnesota Revenue, puts together what they believe will be the numbers that we will collect in revenue for the following year.
Okay.
So once that forecast comes out, then Governor Dayton puts together his budget based on that forecast. Then they do an updated forecast.
With the more information that they've
with
gotten.
more correct information, and then there's an updated budget from the governor.
And we've gone through those steps already.
Those steps have taken place, plus the last one is for each one of the committees then, especially if you're on a finance committee, you get target numbers then from your leadership.
Okay.
So leadership has done that now.
What target numbers meaning?
Target numbers meaning within that finance committee, like I'm on transportation finance, I'm on education finance, there's a taxes committee and a finance committee, and what we do then is get a target number for what you're trying to reach with the policies that you're going to pass.
Okay.
Because if you pass a policy that impacts the budget in some way, you have to make sure that you're going to be able to have the money to pay for that.
Just
so
like any household budget, this
that's
is how much
correct.
money you have.
This is your target number. Okay. This is what you need to balance out to within that finance committee. So we received those targeted numbers now. So now the finance committees can actually go to work and create what's called an omnibus bill. And that will include all of the policies that we have, actually it's presented to the committee. Mm-hmm. And then the committee members have an opportunity to either take something out or to add something into that and come up with what we think will reach that target.
Still working within those budget guidelines.
Working within that target number.
Target number.
That's correct.
That's complicated.
Well, and when you're going through it for the first time, it feels like a lot of pieces are just kind of sitting out there. Mm-hmm. So I'm anxious to see this first go around, and it'll come together. Yeah. It does. And it'll be based on the priorities that we believe the state of Minnesota has. So. Mm-hmm.
Is it a little daunting, overwhelming at times, looking at the numbers you're dealing with as well, the amounts that you're dealing with?
It's just so important. I mean, you realize that the decisions that you're making, people are going to have to live by. And when you're talking, like education, we know that the way that we've decided as a state now to fund education is through property tax. So, because of our operating levies. Well, it's different throughout the state. So one of my goals and one of the things I'm really pushing for is to make sure we get some equity back and build that equity back up, because that formula has not been changed for a long time. So yes, it is daunting because that's going to impact what we do with our education system. But it's also very rewarding because we know it's going to be, we're able to make those decisions, and I'm able to be at the table and have those conversations to decide what it is that we're going to do and the priorities we're going to make.
How do you know what your constituents want, that what the people of your community are thinking?
Right.
What do you do to get those ideas?
Well, one of the things that I've been doing from the beginning, even before I actually went into office, was holding Second Saturday with Your Senator. And that's a great opportunity for people to come and sit down with me. Their second Saturday of every month, and I'll continue to do that. I meet in Waseca at 8 to 9 out to lunch. I'm in Owatonna from 10 to 11 at the kitchen, and I'm in Faribault at the coffee shop from 1 to 2. So it's really worked out well, because if you can't come every time, that's fine, but if you have a particular issue or a question that you want to make sure that you can tell me, I make sure that I'm accessible so that you can do that if you'd like to.
Good. So we've talked a little bit about budget.
Yes.
And how do you think we're doing as a state, as coming together and creating a budget that will work and that people can agree on?
Well, I can go by the things that I'm hearing, and I know that we're not going to be able to do some of the things that we want to in education. All-day kindergarten is a huge priority. the transportation things that we want to get done, especially in this district, Highway 14, some of those things, we're not going to be able to do that unless we collect some more revenue. And I hear an awful lot, and I understand that people are concerned that we're just trying to raise money and spend money. But every time we move, we can decide to shift money to something else and take it away then from somewhere else. And that's the part that gets to be complicated. Where are you going to do that? Public safety, health and human services. There's somebody that's going to lose that revenue if we just shift. If we can raise some more revenue through a way that creates a fair and progressive, I think we should do that. And I'm hearing from a lot of people that, yes, we have these priorities. They've been priorities for a long time. And I'm not going to be a legislator that's going to say that it's a priority and that we have to get these things done and then not try to find the revenue to make it happen. That's happened too many times, and I'm not going to do that. I will look at what the proposals are and make sure it's not impacting certain people in a negative way that I don't believe would be good, but we have to be able to do that.
Well, and I think that's interesting, the concept of moving forward, just saying,
yes,
we need a new car, but
right,
until you actually go to the dealer
exactly
and make that commitment or that change, that moving forward, then you can decide, oh, well, I don't need that car, maybe we can try this car.
Yes.
Moving forward, trying those different opportunities to see which one will fit the state is very important.
It's very important. And then to look at, okay, we do need to raise revenue, where are we going to get that? And to take a honest, open communication to say this is what the options are, which one impacts who, and then be able to communicate that to people so they understand. And people do want a good state. They want to know that those services that they expect from the state of Minnesota are there. But the thing that they have an issue with is if they don't understand how the money's being spent or think that it's being spent inefficiently and those kinds of things. And that's why I signed up for it. Governor Dayton during his State of the State talked about the unsession session. And I signed up for that right away because I think there's not enough time during the session to dig into those things the way that you really can find deficiencies and do those kinds of things. So I'm going to spend time on the unsession session digging into something more deeply and understanding it more fully, and hopefully that will help us overall, not just revenue. But
sorry, but our time has flown by.
Yes.
But if people want to talk to Vicki Jensen, they can. Please. I know she wants to hear from you. The information is on the screen. We will be right back. We're going to be speaking with Mike Johnson about the emergency notification system, so stick with us.
Hi, this is Dave Efforts with TPS Insurance, and we are proud supporters of the Owatonna Today Show.
I needed more than just another dead-end job. I wanted a career, so I expressed myself.
With the kids off to college, I decided it was time for me to go back to work and express myself.
Express got me in touch with some really great companies. Now, I'm on my way to a great career.
Express Employment Professionals is in contact with thousands of companies in need of quality employees. Come in now and get the job you deserve.
Express yourself today.
Coda Living Community and Park Place Senior Living are Owatonna's premier living communities for seniors. Coda Living Community, located on the Owatonna Hospital and Mayo Clinic campus, provides short-term, long-term, and rehabilitative care. It features private and semi-private rooms, ceiling lifts, and spa. Coda Living Community continues the tradition of providing quality care to area residents. Park Place Senior Living is expanding into the Cedarview Care Center to offer enhanced assisted living. For more information, please call 507-446-4946.
Hi, I'm Doug Johnson with the Owatonna Business Incubator. We're here to help small businesses start and to grow. We're a proud sponsor of the Owatonna Today Show.
And we're back with the Owatonna Today Show. I have Fire Chief Mike Johnson with us. Hi.
Hi.
How are
Thanks
you?
for having me.
Oh, it's our pleasure. You're also in charge of the severe weather. What is your thing?
I work as the Emergency Management Director for Steele County, and I'm the Fire Chief for the City of Owatonna.
As you give us the titles, I'm thinking a lot that how long have you been working with the Owatonna area department?
Since 2001.
Okay, so you've seen a lot of changes over these last 11, 12 years.
Yeah.
So. And what is the biggest change you think that you've seen in this area as far as working with emergency management and that kind of thing?
Well, we've had a couple significant disasters with tornado response and flooding response, so we've gotten a lot of practice in our emergency planning.
Practice. That's so funny. Because it's practice in the moment. So you've changed a lot of, have you noticed yourselves changing a lot of the policies and just different ways you communicate or?
Well, one of the things that we did successfully is how we use volunteers and get people in the community involved in emergency management, whether if it's through the Steele County Skywarn, amateur radio, Medical Reserve Corps, or the community emergency response teams. There's a lot of volunteer opportunities for emergency management.
And with a community of this size, that's very important because the fire department can't get all those places necessarily at once.
Yeah, when we have a disaster, that's when you usually, you're overwhelmed, you don't have the resources you need, and that's where you draw from volunteers. And we're lucky in Steele County and in Owatonna that people step up and they help out as needed.
They want to make their community a safer place, and that's one of the ways they do that.
So that's why it's a great place to live.
Good. Well, I'm glad you like it here. Yep. So let's talk a little bit. It is the season, springtime. We're going to have some severe weather, some things that people need to be aware of. But there's also been some changes in technology that have kind of helped people know when something's happening.
Yeah, this is a good time for residents to go through and think about emergency notification and how they receive those. There are some ways we get emergency notifications in Steele County and Owatonna. One is if we have severe weather, we can get it through the NOAA all-hazard weather radios, which I recommend everybody get. But we also have an outdoor emergency notification system, which is our siren system, which we're replacing most of our sirens in the city of Owatonna. And we're upgrading them throughout the county in different communities.
What will the difference be then?
It's a narrow banding process, and it's just better coverage areas that are there. But in addition to that, there's other ways where you can get emergency notification, and it's wireless emergency notifications you can get through your cell phones or smartphones. And that's one of the things that you want to do is sign up to receive emergency notifications in our area. And one of the things we use is a product called Everbridge. You can go to the Steele County website or you can go to the Owatonna website and you'll find a link and it'll say Everbridge Emergency Notification. And you can sign up and determine if you want to get that on your cell phones, at your work number, your home number, how you want to receive that, text messages, or if you want to get emails. But that is one system we use for emergency notifications.
And so for emergencies, severe weather?
We may not use it for, let's say, a tornado warning because of time it takes us to get that out. But if we had incidents, let's say it was a violence, active shooter type situation, a chemical spill where there's a dangerous chemical in an area, maybe there's a dangerous situation that you need to be aware of.
Amber alerts.
These are things that we would put out on the emergency notification system.
We were talking a little bit before that my cell phone actually have had 2 emergency alerts recently. One was an Amber alert for that little baby up in the cities, and then another one that was a severe weather alert that I did not ask for, but the smartphones seem to become pre-programmed with them now.
Yeah, there's a new program with smartphones that it'll go through. You don't have to sign up for it, but if you do have one of the newer technology phones, you'll receive national notifications. And in some areas, you can actually get an Amber Alert. And Minnesota was one of the first communities that we put out an Amber Alert, went out on that national system, and successfully found the person.
Yeah, that was really an amazing.
So this is good technology where you can prepare yourself and your family to receive those emergency notifications. But even though that system is there, you still want to sign up for the local emergency notification
that's a national level, whereas what you're talking about is right here in Steele County. What's happening right here, right now.
If we had a chemical leak, a truck tipped over and there was a dangerous chemical, you'd want to receive that notification if it was going to affect your neighborhood. And that's why you need to sign up for that local emergency notification system.
So you go to the website, you put in your phone number, do you put in your address so they'll know what area you're from so they can alert you in that area?
Yeah, because one of the things we can do is geographically we can highlight an area, and let's say it would be a square mile or a circumference around an area, and we can have that activate a notification for all of those addresses. And that's in the system. We use some current data that's there, but everybody really needs to go in and sign up for to be more specific on how they want to receive those notifications. Good example, if you have a cell phone, that's not going to be on the system.
No.
You need to add that
And
in.
a lot of homes don't have landlines nowadays. They do just go to the cell phone. And so if you want that information, you have to tell the department about that.
Yeah, and that's important to do. It doesn't take a lot of time, but you can get that information.
And you can do it on
in.
your smartphone.
You
So
sure
go
can.
right to that website.
Yep.
So this is, I guess, part of protecting the community is this notification, is getting them the information they need before it's too late.
Yeah, one of the things that we do is we try and prepare people by providing information on our website and Facebook site, and I think we're going to provide those links. You can get a lot of information to prepare yourself, but in the response phase for getting emergency notification, you want to make sure you do your part and sign up so you can receive that. And then we also put out a lot of information on recovery after we have a disaster, and we'll put that on our websites and help people. Example, if we had a tornado, you know, what's the debris management plan, and what do homeowners need to do to have debris removed? Those kind of things you'll find on websites after the disaster.
Well, we're looking at some really high water levels right now, and there's still a lot of snow on the ground to do that. So there could be some flooding issues. I don't know, but there could be. So there's ways to prepare for that as well.
Yeah, we're receiving some isolated flooding in the area because the ground is still froze, the water can't go in, and we're having elevated water levels. So everybody should advise people to stay away from the water because it is dangerous.
Well, it's freezing cold, first of all, to begin with, and then it's also, there's a really strong current. As I was over at the Morehouse Park this weekend, and it's a strong current that's going through there.
Yeah, you're going to see elevated water levels. It's going to be very fast-moving water, so it's a good idea to stay away from the water and keep kids away from that water because you don't want to have to do a water rescue in a situation like that.
Though I know you could.
But as the ground thaws out, hopefully we're going to get through this without any significant flooding.
Yeah, that would be a good thing because we've had plenty of that in this area. So we're done with that kind of thing.
We have.
What preparation things should people be considering as looking, because again, tornado season, it's a little bit harder to look at that situation because you can't see the clouds come in, you don't know that the rain's coming down, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's harder to predict.
Yeah, the biggest thing you can do for severe weather is make sure that you have a NOAA all-hazard weather radio in your home. That's so you can get the indoor notification.
Because you were mentioning earlier about the outdoor ones, those sirens aren't intended to be heard inside your home.
No, they're not. And that's why they make this weather radio system. And if there is a tornado warning or weather warning issued in our area, it's specific and it'll set off a tone, and the radio will actually give you that notification system. And you should have those in place at home. Your family should know what to do if there is a warning. And you should also have them at work so you can receive that notification. You can buy them in any of our retailers around. There's different types that are there. You'd want to sign up for one, get one with the same technology that can be isolated to Steele County warnings.
Okay.
And highly recommend it because that's how you get woke up in the middle of the night if we have severe weather.
Because you may not hear those sirens that are going on
You may not hear them inside your home.
Yeah, good. So the radio is definitely something that people need to have in their home to prepare for the severe weather.
Yeah, and then there's other things too. Many of the news media will go through and they'll have notifications you can sign up for that you can receive on your phone for severe weather. But the most important thing is to have that NOAA all-hazard weather radio.
And what are things people should keep in mind if they do hear severe weather? What should they do in their own homes to be safe?
Well, have a shelter plan. In your home, talk to your family. Go in a low area. Go in an area where there's not a lot of glass where you can protect yourself from flying debris. And it's not just in your home that you want to do that. It's also where you work or school or places you visit, church, things like that. Think about where you're going to take shelter if there's severe weather approaching. And then the other thing that's really important is to talk to kids about what you want them to do. Because if you're not there, they may not know what they're supposed to do for severe weather.
Yeah, and then even practice those things. I know that you encourage people to practice if there's a fire, what kind of escape plan that they have. But again, why not practice this if you have a severe weather warning as well?
Yeah, you can go on our website and you can get information on a disaster kit, things you should have stored in your basement, a first aid kit, flashlight, the things that you need, a radio so you can hear what's going on in your area. And those are things that you want to put in there ahead of time because if the power goes out, having a flashlight where you can see is really important.
Well, they have those great ones now that you can just crank.
That's what I have.
Yeah, exactly. You don't have to worry about the batteries. But
Yep.
yeah, so that's good. Well, if they want more information, you can, of course, go to the Steele County Emergency website. I'm sure they're calling if they have any questions. And just be involved in their own safety process. I think is important.
Yep, plan for it and be prepared.
Good. All right. Thank you so much for your time, Mike.
Thanks for having me.
It's a pleasure. And we'll be right back with the Owatonna Today Show. Stay with us.
Hi, Warren Abraham Consulting Technologies, your one-stop technology shop. We support the Owatonna Today Show.
Owatonna Public Utilities, real people, real reliable, real progress. Making life a little easier day after day, taking pride in our community, listening to what you say, a voice you can talk to. We're growing with you in mind in everything we do. Owatonna Public Utilities.
Hello, I'm Sean McNulty.
And I'm Deb Gillard with Brookdale Senior Living, Sterling House, and Clarebridge of Owatonna.
And we are a proud sponsor of the Owatonna Today Show.
And we're back with the Owatonna Today Show. I want to give you a few community announcements. The Owatonna Art Center will host its 61st annual Steele County exhibition and invites artists to show artworks in May. You must be residents of Steele County or members of the Owatonna Art Center and at least be 18 years of age, and they can show up to 3 original pictures or sculptures that have been created within the past year. It's an opportunity to show off what we've got going on in the Steele County area. If you want more information, you can contact the Owatonna Art Center at 451-0533, or you can check out their website at oacarts.org and find out more information how maybe you can get your pieces shown at the Art Center. It'll be a lot of fun. Tom Willis is exhibiting his glaze and form exploration at the Owatonna Art Center. This is running from April 7th through the 28th, and he is making his mark in what he's calling functional art. It's a pottery exhibit. There will be an artist reception coming up this Sunday from 1 to 4, and it's talking about his most recent pottery work as well as a capstone event titled Glaze and Form Exploration. If you love pottery, it's a great opportunity. Somebody who has done the work, created an art form out of it, and is having some fun with it. So they'd really encourage you to come and check that out at the Owatonna Art Center. The Little Theater of Owatonna is announcing its Sarah Foreman Memorial Post-Secondary Scholarship. I'm a huge fan of Sarah Foreman, actually, and it's proud to announce it's seeking eligible candidates for its 6th Sarah Foreman Memorial Post-Secondary Scholarship Form. If you'd like more information, you can go to the littletheaterofowatonna.org or contact your high school counselors or career center. It's a lot of fun. It's established as a memorial to the longtime resident Sarah Foreman, and the scholarship is meant to recognize and support the post-secondary education of a current Steele County resident or a previous graduate of a Steele County high school who studies and participates in theater, and it distinguishes them. So if you love theater and you need a scholarship, please contact the Little Theater of Owatonna. You can get information at 507-455-0873. You can talk to Gayleen Stuckelberg, who is the organizer of the scholarship area, and find out how you can be a part of the Sarah Foreman Memorial Scholarship. And Steele County Historical Society is seeking donations to the Vintage and Perennial Plant Sale fundraiser. Backed by popular demand, they're going to be hosting its 3rd annual Vintage and Plant Sale coming up on May 4th, and it's going to be from 9 to 2 at the Village of Yesteryear, so proceeds will benefit the Steele County Historical Society. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you on Monday. Have a great weekend.